the channel, everybody. Today we are on the upper end of the river where there's a lot of really good trout and walleye, stuff like that, and it's really busy with kayaks. There went 2 or 3 kayaks, rafts, and all that. So the water's down, and I've been told the bite's pretty good up here when the water's down. So we're going to throw around a little bit of everything and to see what all we can catch. So let's get to fishing. Fish on. Thought I was snagged for a second there. What we got? Dude. You're a big female red ear, so we're gonna let you go back. That's a pretty fish. And get you back. All right. Well, we've moved up a couple of spots, and this one right here is very, very unfishable with the size jigs that I've got on, just because there's so much water flow. So I'm either going to go somewhere with a little bit calmer water up the river, or tie on a little bit heavier jig, because this is a slightly deeper pocket right here, but by the time your bait hits the water, it's already downstream. All right, hopefully I don't slip and bust my ass right here, but I have finally found a couple of fish in this little pocket where this tree is, or well, these trees. Whew, I gotta watch my step right here. Another big chunky female. Hey, if that's what I can get to make a video, heck with it. I would much prefer having you know, something other than panfish, but if that's all I can get, then so be it. Hey, we caught a fish, I'll be dang. That is a female red ear, or red breast. I know you ain't hooked that good. There we go. Chunky female. What sucks is everything is spawning right now, apparently, and nothing wants to bite, like, at all. I have scrapped roughly 8 videos over the last week and a half, 2 weeks. And I'm not the only one suffering. A couple other YouTubers that fish around here have had the same issue. Alright, well, we decided to jump ship and come across the river to the little mountain creek because, yeah, it wasn't happening on the riverside. Too many rafts and kayaks and stuff going right over where I was fishing at, and I guess they decided to randomly start generating water. So yeah, water picked up real quick. So anyway, we're gonna see what all we can catch, and I hope it's anything, because I need videos. I don't know what the deal is with the entirety of June, but apparently everything everywhere has started to go on spawn and is not biting. Like, June has been worse as far as creating content goes than February was. So hopefully something happens today that gets me back on track. Got it. That's, oh, that, no, dang it. What is the deal here? That was a stud smallmouth that hit that. I think my drag being a little bit too tight forced the hook to pop out. But dang it, that was a good smallmouth, and he was all about it too. How did I hook you? I I mean, I'll take you because I need fish, but world's smallest red breast sunfish. Little 1/80th ounce jig that's getting tore up. Teeny tiny little thing. There is a red breast right there that's guarding a nest, and it is meaner than a rattlesnake. Like, it doesn't matter what comes by, it chases it off. Except for my lure. Got you. Not 100% sure what you are, because you got a bigger mouth than a bluegill, but you got different colorations. I'm pretty sure you could be a hybrid, like a bluegill green sunfish hybrid or a red breast green sunfish hybrid, because you got the fins like a green sunfish would have. I don't know. I was just thinking something. If I was to get lucky enough to hook one of these shiners that just got off, I would put it on a hook and use it as live bait, but I just remembered I don't have a hook rigged up for live bait. Well, can't really tell it, but the one we got here is, well, that was one of my favorite shiners, which would be the war paint shiner. They've got one of the biggest mouths of the shiner species, or at least the smaller shiner species. And they're super aggressive. Well, you're hooked in the mouth, but you got the line wrapped around you. Oh, you little... Super pretty red breast. Thing is just loaded with spawn colors. Very, very vibrant. Can't get my words going. I just happened to see it sitting on another bed over there underneath all those branches, and it actually wanted it. And there it goes. Straight back to its little nest. Gotcha. I've been trying to catch you for about a week, and I finally did. Man, that is a pretty red breast. Full spawn colors. Show you what I did to catch him here in a second. Maybe. Pretty fish. Anyway, the micro bait that I was using on this 1/80th ounce jig head, I just took a little red and black trout magnet trout crawl and just rigged it up on there, and that thing is almost perfect size for that jig head. I would have much rather had like a 1/64th, but as soft as some of these are biting, alright, that one just snuck up out of nowheres. And we got us a rock bass. Just about got you in the eye, of course. These hooks that come with these jigs are a little bit big. Alright, got you documentified. There we go. There's a little... Oh, shoot. There's one had it and I didn't even realize it until it was too late. But, there's a little pod of them that hangs out between that big rock and that tree. Half of them are really too small to bother with, but they're there. Alright, in what's going to be the last stop of the morning, afternoon, whatever it is. Actually, I think it's afternoon now. Yeah, it's like 2 something. Anyway, I have drove entirely too far, too many miles for what we've caught today. And this spot I have only fished one other time, but there were some decent fish in it. So I'm just taking one rod and a couple of things, and hopefully, hopefully catch some fish. Because y'all know I don't like making videos with less than about 8 or 10 fish in them in. But this spot's looking pretty good, so let's get some fish, hopefully. Got you. I just barely seen you sitting underneath this little branch right over here. But little rock bass. Show you what I caught on here in just a second. Let's get you back. But anyway, this is just a 1/32 ounce, I think it's the Hunter Green mule jig head with a 1.2 mule minnow in the cowpoke pattern. Link on the top of the description if you want to check some out. I get a little bit of a kickback whenever you buy something through that link. There's quite a few fish hanging out underneath that little branch. There must be another little nest or something down there that I can't really see, or bed that I can't see down there, because there's one little long-eared sunfish, which I think that's what it is, keeps poking its head out whenever I drop my bait down, but it just sneaks right back in there. I'm kind of worried. Other than those that we seen just a second ago, I don't see anything swimming around in this creek. Now, right along that far bank there kind of looks promising because it's a little bit deeper, shaded, and there is a little cover. But it's whether or not I can get to it. Well, I know I can cast to it, I don't remember exactly how to get to it through here. That's nice to know. Hog rooting all over this sandbar. Okay, that's a little soft, and that's hot. More hog rooting. Tell you what, hogs are destructive creatures. Alright, well, seems like no action right here, so let's go down this bank. Like, there is one small, like probably 6 or 8 inch smallmouth hanging out down there. Alright, we're gonna move on a little bit. I know there's 2 smallmouth there that are kind of eyeballing it, but they're not super interested. And this is about as far up as we can go because it gets too shallow to bother with just right up here around the bend. Well, there might be another spot up there to look at. I'll have to remember this and get some freaking wading shoes because this next little pool up here looks really good. Thing is, I'm not wading in the shoes I got on. They're my only good ones and I don't want to ruin them. So we're going to work our way back and probably swap out jig heads to something just a smidge smaller and see if we can pop some of these little shiners and little micro bluegill and stuff that's hiding around in these rocks and stumps. I've got a setup here that I'm comfortable throwing super light jigs on. Like, it's not made for it by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a little 6-foot ACC one-piece rod, 1000 Stradic. But here's the thing, this line is 12-pound test braid, but it's JDM line, which means Japanese domestic market, and it's the same diameter as 6-pound braid. So it's a lot easier to cast super small baits and still have that strength of the heavier pound test. Hey, we got something. That didn't take long. Show you what I caught it here in a second, but tiny little rock bass. Now these things can easily be confused as a shadow bass, which are very similar, but they have a slightly different color pattern, and they don't get nearly as big as rock bass do. But what I caught it on, I went down to a 1/80th ounce mule fishing jig head with a mule fishing horsefly. Link in the top of the description. Check it out. It helps the channel out. So if you want to support the channel, click that top of the link and buy you some mule fishing stuff. But this thing, as light as it is, I can still cast it really comfortably with this 12-pound JDM braid. Now, one thing that I failed to mention about this JDM braid is it's so fine that a double Palomar knot will just barely hold. So you pretty much have to tie a triple Palomar to get it to hold. Like, it is a very fine braid. But it being so fine, even with a heavier pound test and a little bit stiffer rod, you can get some decent distance and get into these tiny little places and catch some decent fish. The downside to this JDM braid, it's extremely expensive. It's, there we go, got something. Stay on. Dude, chill. Little horny head creek chub. These things right here are just aggravating. There we go. Get you back. Yeah, them things are slimy too. But yeah, this JDM braid is expensive. Most expensive braid I've ever bought, and it'll be the last time I buy a braid that expensive. But it does have its upsides, of course. Oh, lost another one there. The advantages far outweigh the disadvantages. There's another one. I don't know what it is. Probably another little creek chub. Yeah, these things are squirrely. Y'all don't see it, but I'm eyeballing behind me because up here in the mountains, obvious chance of bears. I swear these things are worse than trout when it comes to them not wanting to be still. Here we go. I'll just screenshot my other one. But I specifically wanted this JDM braid because I wanted a very all-round rod that I could do a lot of stuff with. And that is, you know, I could bass fish with this. I could throw some slightly bigger stuff. I could, you know, creek fish with it, obviously. I could throw ultralight baits. I could throw some bigger baits like 3/8 ounce. Stuff like that. You know, something very versatile. And this setup here has just been my go-to setup for a while. I'll leave a link in the top of the description so you can go check out the braid and decide whether or not you want to make that expenditure. Like anything JDM is expensive. Like there's no two ways about that. So we're going to make our way back down here to where those little small jaws were and see if by some chance they're interested in a horsefly. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, I need to do some B-roll stuff and cue the B-roll. whenever I do B-roll type stuff, I like to do at least a 3-second clip. That way, you know, if I want it to be a little bit longer and take up a little bit more space as far as needing the footage goes, I've got 3 seconds to work with. And if I want it to be a little bit shorter and have multiple, like more B-roll type things, I can just trim it down to a second, second and a half, 2 seconds, whatever I need. I noticed one thing about these little smallmouth that are over here is they won't even look at a bait unless something's biting at it. Like these little shiners, when they go to bite at it, those little smallmouth are like, what's that? Like nosing it. If you can see the fish, they can see you, and they can certainly see me. Got something. Well, we'll take it. Little bull of the gills. He was hiding way back into that. And I thought one of the smallmouth that's under there had picked it up, because they have actually shown a little bit of interest to this little black and red crawl. I don't know if they've got a little bed or something in there or what. Well, ladies and germs, I believe we're going to call our quits on that. I only have the one battery down here with me, and all my other ones are somewhere in that direction in my vehicle. But we didn't get skunked, and that's all that matters. And I got a video, so that matters too. Dang it, I tell you all what, I'm glad I brought a clean shirt, because that one needs to be taken out to pasture and Old Yeller. It is hot, and it's sticky, and it's wet. It's like stepping out of a hot shower and straight into your clothes without drying off. It's just that kind of humid. But anyway, you've probably got it over the last couple of videos that I've been able to produce and get on here. Fishing has sucked here lately, and it's not just been me that's having this issue. There's several other YouTubers in this area that's having the same issue. And you know, when stuff goes on spawn, a lot of times it just don't want to bite. And I think this is the second spawn, or panfish spawn, that we've had to deal with, and the catfish are on spawn also, so they're not really interested in cut bait or whatever. But anyway, came up here, caught a couple of fish today on the riverside and down here. Nothing spectacular, but we caught fish, and that's all that matters. And since these little shiners and creek chubs are so freaking easy to catch, I need to rethink the tackle that I'm taking with me. That way, you know, I can target those smaller fish and get that kind of content out here, because not a lot of people target these creek chubs and shiners unless they're, you know, trying to catch catfish bait or bass bait or whatever. And I'm not trying to catch bait, I'm just trying to catch fish and get some content out there to make money. Anyway, it's hot, so anyway, we'll wrap this video up. If you want to support the channel, check out the top link in the description. That's my mule fishing affiliate link. Whenever you buy something through that link, I get a little bit of a kickback. And check out all of the other links in the video description. Hope you liked the video. We'll see you in the next one.